Please forgive me for this, and can start your discussion once again, Pramod. Not from
Yes, sir.
zero, but from the point you left it. Okay,
Yes,
Pramod,
sir.
go ahead.
So friends, we were discussing about the benefits of using the stories whenever we are giving any presentation or talking on some platforms. So first of all, the connectivity. With the help of stories, we can get connected with the audience regardless of what is the size, what is the background of the audience. How I can give you one example. For example, we are in office and we have to give our review presentation that what we have done in our past. So we can start from the story, like today when I was coming to office, and then I saw some workers were doing this, and I came up with this strategy, and we will implement this. So though you have not performed, though you have not done good in your past, in your previous year, but you have shown one type of opportunities with the help of story only, that yes, you will do this time better than the previous year. So like this, you can engage your seniors, your bosses, your colleagues in very interesting and curious way. Second thing is the relatability, because we don't know the backgrounds of the audience. But when we start the story part, then the focus, the attention of the people become unique. One style, that is the curiosity. The curiosity is common among the all the uh, types of the audience. So a common, with the help of a common story, the we can grab the attention of all the audience in together. So that is also the connecting. Third thing is with the help of story, we can make understood our topic. Nobody want nowadays, nobody has sufficient time and they don't want to get engaged in lecture mode. So with the help of the story, we can make understand them in easy way. And the fourth one is that is very important, that is two-way communication. With the help of stories, we can engage our audience also. We are speaking like blah blah blah, only we are speaking. So with the help of stories, we can bring the entire audience in the interactive mode. So here we see that how important storytelling is, and we should know the art, that where we can put our story in between our speech. So this is
Thank
from
you
my side. Thank
so
you.
very much, Pramod. Thank you so very much. You just
Yes,
took the challenge and you just accepted it to the next level. So, Pramod, I think this is your first time you're speaking in the main room.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Everybody, just use the chat box and give a score out of 100 to Pramod on how well did he speak right now. Pramod, just have a look into the chat box. Just have a look. You are amazing. You are just amazing. You just got 100% confidence over here. So look at the scores. It's really, really amazing. Excellent speech. Excellent preparation. Amazing. It's 90 and 90 plus only. Nothing less than that. Amazing, Pramod. So this makes our job very, very easy. Who's coming next? Who's coming next? I want Satya sir to come next, because this is such an amazing topic. Satya sir, only 2 minutes, but I want your views on this topic. Satya sir.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening to everyone. Pramod sir said 100% right for regarding of the storytelling. Nowadays, people are not at all interested for lecture mode. They are ready to listen to the stories.
Absolutely. People have got
Exactly.
bored. People have got bored
Yes.
by listening to so many lectures. People want stories. Yes.
Yes. Here and there stories will give attract of the people. While in business mode, if you are giving any PPT mode, meanwhile, if you are insert any sort of stories, that will attract the people to buy or to sign on the papers also. Sometimes the story itself give a motivation to sign up the papers. So that is the main beauty of the storytelling. But while I am taking this subject in regarding our spoken English, how the story will be improve our spoken English. That is my theme, today's theme that I have taken. For that, I want to give one quote. Tell me a fact and I will learn. Tell me the truth and I will believe. But tell me a story and it will live in my heart forever. An Indian proverb says this is. An Indian proverb says, tell me a story and it will live in my heart forever. So whenever you want to say something in between, if you insert a story, that will live in our heart forever. So for that, this is not from this era, from last 100 years, 200 years also, from our childhood, our grandparents, parents are telling the stories by way of inserting the morals and giving knowledge of the subject and giving problem solving skills. Sometimes the story gives a problem solving skills also. So they are inserted the stories at bedtime, especially. For that, what is the characteristics of the storytelling is, one is the provoke curiosity. The storytelling gives curiosity to the audience. It invokes learners' imaginations and interest on the particular topic. And when come to the part of our spoken English, the story automatically gives vocabulary, comprehension, and story sequencing is also there in the stories. And story can give listening and oral communication skills. The story interactive and cooperative process, it is an art. The storytelling is an art. It helps the listener together listen and remember. That is the main characteristics of the storytelling. And come to the part of objectives of the storytelling is to enable the learner learn English language or the other language, whatever any language. I'm taking this subject in a different theme like that. How to improve our spoken English by way of telling stories.
Perfect. Go ahead.
If you want to learn Hindi, means you have to listen Hindi stories, talk Hindi stories. Then only you will get more vocabulary, more comprehension. No need of grammar. Our MMDC formula is same like that. We don't encourage to learn the grammar and to read more books. The simple funda is to tell the story. In that story, simple phrases are there. There is a grammar also there. So to enhance their confidence and speaking skills, once they will get confidence by telling the stories, they will automatically learn the grammar also. In school days, the teacher said the stories only. The student till he remember the story what the teacher said. So it increases the learner's knowledge, vocabulary, structure, context. That is the object, and develop problem solving skills, and teaches narrative structure and practice descriptive mode, create interest and develop listening comprehension, and improve pronunciation and intonation. Actually, pronunciation is the biggest problem nowadays if you are learning to speak English. When come to childhood, if you are telling stories by listening from our parents in English, from our teachers in English, there is no problem for pronunciation. By imitating the teacher, you are getting pronunciation. By telling the story, what she told, so the same copycat, improve pronunciation and intonation, enhances the skills of connecting to content, connecting to learn, and modeling. Modeling is one of the object, and create fluency in speaking and think about narration writing, and encourage interaction and share culture. So those are the objectives. The storytelling technique is believed to be one of the entertaining techniques in terms of the meetings and seminars, and can be used with learners in order to develop their English language skill. Actually, storytelling technique attracts learners' attention and higher concentration. Just Pradeep sir said that is the boring. Every day, if you are giving a lecture mode or presentation, you'll be getting bored. The people will get bored. So meanwhile, in between the sessions, if you are inserting any type of this sort of storytelling, it will give more impact and to learn more, particularly for that subject. This is a brief discussion about storytelling, sir. I have taken
Amazing,
a
Satya,
regarding
sir.
our
Amazing.
story.
Once again, it was really amazing to listen to you. Really good to listen to you. Before going to Pranjal, I want people to raise their hands. How many of you feel that stories can add real value into the communication? In 3D workshop, if you remember, I had told you about Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ gave all his lessons in the form of stories, in the form of parables, moral stories with a ending, with a message. And in today's date, he started around 1000, 2000 years back, but in today's date, he has got around 200 crore followers across the world, all through the power of stories. Stories are so very essential for us. If we include stories in our life is going to change. Our communication is going to change. We are going to change. We are going to attract a lot of millions into our life. $1 million communicator, right? This is where you all are. If you want to become a $1 million communicator, you have to include stories into your life. Over to Pranjal, and then we'll go to Ashfaq, one by one.
Yeah, hi sir, good evening.
Good evening, Pranjal.
Yeah, so story, according to me, storytelling is the oldest technique to grab attention of the people.
Wow,
From Josh Talks to TEDx, everyone use the same technique while delivering a speech because it's easy to remember a story more than a ordinary speech. According to me, everyone is a storyteller. Whenever I gave a fake excuse in my life, I used this interesting technique of storytelling.
wow, wow, Pranjal, amazing.
People liked, yeah. So people like to hear stories from ancient period, like Ramayana, Mahabharata. Both of them taught us lessons about life. It's hard to remember every line of the Gita, but on the other hand, it's easy to remember the story of Mahabharata. Nowadays, everyone like influencers, motivators, use this technique to grab the attention and concentration of the people. When I was child, I liked those games which is based on stories more than any other games. So basically, everyone used this technique from a long time, but they tried to keep it as their secret technique. But in recent times, it came out of the box, and the people use it to achieve more success in their life. Thank you, sir.
You just elevated the entire discussion to a next level. Thank you so much, Pranjal. I don't know
Actually, I
whether you were
just
speaking from a
wrote
text,
this.
but
Yeah, I
you wrote
just
a
wrote the
script.
script
I
after joining the. I mean, after joining the 9:15 meeting.
actually, Sulekha is saying awesome words, but trust me, Pranjal, these are words close to my heart. You just took my heart away with your words. Amazing, amazing presentation. Moving to Ashfaq right now. Ashfaq Ahmed.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Today's topic, as you know, which is given by MMDC. So, storytelling, which is a very powerful technique to explain our thought, our concept, our opinion in other people's, which is a very most powerful and most useful skill to understand other our talks. So many people, because of this, so many people and speakers use. So many people and motivational speaker use this technique storytelling because human mind story type of talk catch easily. And one more benefit of the storytelling is it is easy to understand and easy to memorize and what I say and hard to forget. Very rarely it's possible to forget the stories and remember for a long time. We have understand the understand the story easily other than normal talks. One more as we know that we remember all those stories which is listening in schooling period, but we don't have any memory idea and don't remember anything which is like physics concept, mathematics formulas, biological terms. This all are not remembered yet, but all those stories which we were listen in the schooling time, we all are remembered that properly because a story is a very powerful and very effective to memorize for a long time because human nature, it is a human nature who remember a story for a long time. So it is a one of the powerful skill we should learn because for explain our talk and for transfer our opinion and our thoughts to others. Thank you, sir.
Amazing, Ashfaq. I think week number 1, right, Ashfaq? Week number 1, day number 3, I guess. That is how it is. Or day number 4. I don't know. But amazing, Ashfaq. Just look at the confidence, just look at the delivery. Just look at the clarity of thoughts. Just look at the understanding level of the topic. Really amazing. Vishwajit, over to you. Vishwajit, over to you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. I little bit think storytelling is one of the most powerful means that leaders have to influence, teach, and inspire. What makes storytelling so effective for learning? Storytelling connects among people and between people and ideas. Convey Stories convey the culture, history, and values that unity of people actually. Story tells who frame our inner fire. Thus are people who inspire us to dream bigger by teaching us to reform our internal story. And most of things, story always gave a great gift. It's moral of the story. Thank you, sir.
Time now for Sulekha, but I think Sulekha will also do a great job on the topic of storytelling. Sulekha, over to you.
Yes, yes. So today's topic is storytelling. One of my favorite topic. Allure my eyes. I just want to start with storytelling by what is the importance of communication. I'll tell a small story and I'll ask and end of my 1 minute speech. I'll ask one question to all. One interview is going on. Two candidates came into the interview. They both are talented. They both are cleared all the each and every level very excellently, and one person got 98% and another person got 97.97%. One question arises to both of them. One person sitting behind the interviewers, they ask some questions. He got 98% in his academic. Whenever interviewers asking questions, he is hesitated to tell the answers because of he doesn't know the answers, so he kept sit silently. Another person came and same question asked to him also. He actually truthfully he also doesn't know the answers about that question, but he's trying to tell something about the question, and she's trying to explain about something what he knows about that question, but he doesn't know the exact answer. Compared to both of them, interviewer should pick only one person. Both are very talented, both are equally skilled, and both are having equally 1% of equal percentages. Interviewer which one going to among those two persons, the interviewer which one going to took for their job? Can anyone tell me the answer?
You can put your answers in the chat box. Anybody who has understood the storyteller, okay. So Venkat is saying, Satya sir is saying the storyteller. Yes, Sulekha ma'am.
Yes, sir, exactly. Because of the communication, because of the narration, interviewer should take that who speaks something about the question. He is the only option to take that person, because of being sitting silently is better than speak something. So interviewer took that person and he got the job. That is the power of communication, and that is the power of narration. Storytelling is also one of the powerful weapon when we are doing something with the kids. I put a class for my kid for next class. He is dealing with online classes. I mean, my kid is very small and she's only 7 years old. Every kids are their attention is not same throughout the 40-minute session. Whenever one kid is not concentrating about the topic, he just next second she is going to tell one story. So he grabbed the attention from my kids. They will sit and they will listen the stories, and after that story again she will start the concept. So storytelling is one of the attracting method to teach whatever we inject our topic to other person. Um, And Pranjal sir told that Rama and Mahabharat, instead of knowing the slokas, we remember the stories. That is truth. That is very much truth. My kids also, and not about the kids. Everyone don't know about the slokas. But they can know what is Rama and then what is Mahabharat. That is from my side. Thank you.
Amazing once again, Sulekha ma'am. Just wanted you to be here as a leadership member. You just threw some light on this important topic of storytelling. And best way is how you teach kids. When you teach kids, you tell them stories, and those stories last for a lifetime. So today we are going to give a presentation. In fact, Lalit has prepared a presentation, and he has scrounged, SCROUNGED, he has scrounged the entire of the internet, entire of the Google, to find out those best ideas, those best techniques of how you can use storytelling as a method to improve your communication skill. So I want Lalit to just confirm, are you ready, Lalit?
Yes, sir. Sir, I just need 1 minute. I'm opening my PPT. Just need one
Okay.
minute. Till that
It's
time, we
perfectly
can go
okay.
with one person.
Yeah, it's perfectly okay. But Lalit, in the entire process, what we are doing is we're just telling
Yes,
you some amazing secrets. All of you, we're just telling you some amazing secrets, which if you are using, so Muthamel is already waiting eagerly for the presentation of Lalit sir. So we are going to tell you approximately 20 secrets which the world's best communicators, I'm repeating it, world's best communicators are already using these techniques. If you start using these techniques in your presentations, your communication, your speeches, your interviews, everything, wherever you are opening your mouth properly, wherever people are judging you for whatever you're speaking, that is going to go through the roof. It's going to be version 2.0 for all of you. So we have done immense research on this topic of storytelling and how it can add value into your life as a great communicator, as $1 million communicator. So I'm just waiting for Lalit to just start his conversation. In the meanwhile, if anybody has got any extra point with regards to storytelling, with regards to communication, can just raise his hand and once again go for it. Otherwise, waiting for you, Lalit, to start your presentation.
Yes, sir. So in the meanwhile, if anyone wants to come up and speak on the topic, I just need 1 minute. I'm already ready with all the equipments, all the presentations and everything. I'm just connecting it. So in that meanwhile, if someone wants to come up and speak on this topic, the stage is open for him or her, and we are having 1 minute in our hand. So if anyone is interested. Hello, am I audible, sir? Hello.
Yes, you're audible. If you want, I will share the screen from my side. Lalit.
No. Okay. If that will be possible, sir, you can do it.
I'll
Otherwise,
do that right
coming
away.
back.
I'll do that right away. Lalit.
I think, sir, I'm logging in. If that is not possible.
I'm already on. Lalit, go ahead.
Okay, sir. So thank you very much. I will just tell you when to get on the next slide. So please do that for me.
Sure,
Okay.
Lalit. Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. I think I'm all visual and audible to everyone. So as we have started with a great discussion today, that today we are going to have a wonderful presentation on a topic of storytelling. And as you all know that this topic is going to be very interesting just because you all have an idea that what a story is about. So you all have this concept in your mind, not from today, but from your childhood. But in today's PPT, we are going to learn about the skill, how to use it, how to implement it, how to be a good storyteller, and how to be a good speaker by inculcating this particular skill in your communication. So let's move to the presentation without wasting any time. So the first page in front of you all, have you ever seen a good speaker speaking in front of you? Don't take anyone's example. I'm just telling you to imagine in your mind. So the particular presentation that we are going to have today is about imagination. So whenever I will say to imagine, quickly close your eyes and imagine that whatever I'm saying in front of you. So have you seen a great speaker? Have you seen a boring one? Have you seen a boring speaker? And have you seen a speaker who is very energetic, who is very enthusiastic, and when he speaks, audience love to listen to him. Trust me, you love that speaker, not a boring one. So, sir, can we move to the next slide? So, it is about the concept of storytelling. It is about the concept of telling your ideas. As Satyanarayana sir has very wonderfully quoted, that it is about quoting our ideas. Storytelling is about quoting our ideas in front of everyone. And that is what storytelling is. Sulekha ma'am has given a very wonderful example of teaching, the way of teaching kids. When we are children, everyone used to tell us or used to teach us with the help of stories. Then someone will come and pick you up. Do you remember it? Yes, it is one of the story in which our mother used to tell us that you have to eat food to be well. So this is what the concept of storytelling is. Now, do you remember a speaker speaking on TED Talks or any other platforms that is available on YouTube or in this world? And do you remember that whether whoever are working over here, I don't know, do you remember a corporate business lecture which is so boring? Because everyone over there speaks about a boring concept in which people wants to get sleepy. People wants to sleep by closing their laps or laptops, and they are very fragile sitting over there. But do you remember a speaker speaking in front of the stage, speaking in TED Talks? Exactly. He is more admirable. He is more interesting, energetic. He is more connecting. He is more special. He is great. Do you know why? Because this particular book in front of you, this particular book, Akash Karya has written the top best techniques of giving us TED Talks, that is about storytelling. TED Talks is all about storytelling, telling your life story. Many successful persons come over the platform of TED Talks and they tell their stories to you, to all of the audience, to motivate them, to inspire them. So one of the best techniques picking from that book are in this PPT, and we are going to discuss it now in front of you all. So the first page, the first step is lectures versus stories. Why this word lecture is very bold? If I would ask you that whether you remember and whether you feel interesting while you are in the class and teacher in front of you is giving you a lecture, everyone likes to sit like, oh teacher, stop it, it is so boring. But if I would tell you to remember, if I would tell you to imagine that when your mother used to tell you a story about Mahabharata or any other story, you would be very interesting. Mother, please tell me your next story. Mom, please tell me your next story. Please tell me another story. I'm very energetic. I'm feeling good. And every night you used to sit with your mother just to hear a story. That was so beautiful. And that is the concept. No one wants to get into the lectures, but stories, oh my God, they are wonderful. They are lovely, and people wants to listen to them like crazy. And that is what the stories, the importance of stories in your communication is. So can we move to the next slide? Now, the pro tips from the book of Akash Karya, and one of the biggest pro tip is teach your introduction. I'm not telling about not to give your introduction. It is good to give your introduction, but not in the descriptive way. If I would be starting with my presentation like this, hello, I'm K. Jagannath Lalit, I'm from MMDC Club, and I'm one of the expert and accountability partner, you will feel, stop man, you are boring us. But if I would tell the intro in very crispy way that I'm K. Jagannath Lalit starting this presentation, that means I'm getting into the topic without wasting your time. If you would remember my last presentation, I have told in that it is about you, it is about the audience. So if I would be telling about me, no one will be interested in listening to my introduction. But if I would be directly jumping into the topic, people would love to listen to me because I'm not boring them or I'm not wasting your time. So the next pro tip is stop giving your gratitude and thanking to someone who has given you the stage. But I'm not telling about to stop thanking to that person. But you don't have to tell every time when you come up on stage, sir, thank you for giving me this opportunity, or thank you for giving me the stage, or I'm very happy to get this opportunity. It is not necessary every time, because once you have done it, it will be boring part in your presentation. And if you start like this, it will be very boring for the audience. But yes, you can use this gratitude at the end of your presentation to make it more clear and more respectful. Now, the next pro tip is being different. If I would ask you that, do you remember any shops of shoes in your locality, in your city? You would say a no to me. Lalit, you are stupid. You're asking stupid questions. Exactly. I'm stupid. I'm asking stupid questions because I'm common. And no one likes to be common in this world. Everyone likes to be different. Everyone likes to be exceptional. And that's why people remember Amazon, people remember Misho, people remember Flipkart. Why? Because they are different. People love to get different ways in their life. And if you are a speaker or if you are a storyteller in the common way of telling, it will get bored in front of the audience. But if you have a different way of telling your stories, then it will take everyone into their imagination world. The next step, the mental journey, the dream, the world of dreams. Every time I used to say this particular word that make the audience imagine their dream world. And if you are a very good storyteller, then you can make the person imagine that exactly this is what the mental journey is. Just remember one thing. When you go to your schools for the first day in your life, your father or your mother holding your hand, they leave you at the school gate. And what they used to tell you? They used to tell you, son or daughter, just go to your school, complete your classes, come back to home, I will give you a chocolate. And you are not going to school just because you want to study, but yes, you want to go to school because when you return back home, you will get a toffee at your hand. So because you're imagining that toffee in your mind and you love to have the toffee, you love to have to eat that chocolate, that's why you're doing something. So if your story is also so connecting that people are going into their dream world, then people will love to listen to your story, man. People will crazy to listen to you. So guys, imagine is the powerful word I have told you already. So always make your stories which can take people to the world of their dreams. Make people feel that you are feeling for them. Relate people to your lives. Relate yourself to the people's lives. That is what 3F concept is about. Feel, felt, and found. If you want to found your audience, first feel for your audience. I genuinely feel for every member in MMDC. I personally feel for every member, every learner in MMDC, and I love to help them. I have felt for them, and then I have found them. They have a personal connection with me, and that's why this feel, felt, found is about. So feel, then found them in your life. So that is what the concept of storytelling is. So now the next step is just imagine again your favorite food. And when I use this word favorite food, you suddenly start imagining in your mind that yes, this was my favorite food. I used to this food when I go to that restaurant. Don't you do it? Yes, you all do it because 90% of the content is just visualization. Why I always use PPTs to explain a concept? Because visualization makes the concepts very clear. And when you make people visualize, that this is the story, this is the theme, this is the moral, this is the learning, this is the villain, this is the hero of the story, people love to listen to your stories, and your stories are going to become more effective. So this is a pro tip that you should have a power of making visualizations to people. Now the next step is you should always create a suspense in the story. Let's take an example. You are getting two movie name in front of you. One is Batman, one is Suicide Squad Joker. But I will not talk about this. Let's come into our Indian movies. It would be more relatable, it would be more interesting, it would be more connecting. So let's talk about Bahubali. Let's talk about KGF. Why do you love to see KGF? Why do you love to see Bahubali 2? When there was Bahubali 1, and when the announcement was done about the conclusion, people were crazy to know. Why? Because the villain has been invented so powerful that people wants to know that suspense. Exactly, Mayuri ma'am. The suspense is the game. And when your story starts with the introduction of the villain, if you have seen KGF very carefully, it was started with the introduction of the villain. It was started with Anand Indalgi explaining the concept of villain. So villain, if you introduce, and then if you introduce your hero, it create a suspense, and people love that suspense. People are crazy for that suspense. And if you would do that in the very creative way, you will get imagined throughout your entire lifetime. Do you remember Titanic? If you have ever seen Titanic in your life, I am guaranteeing you would have remembered these three scenes, mostly these three scenes. First, what is the conclusion of their love? Will they end or not? Second, what is the ending of the story? Will everyone will get saved, or who is going to get saved? That is another concept. And the third, what is the secret of this movie? What is the story of Titanic? If you would have ever seen this movie, you would have remembered these three things. Now let's take an example of Bahubali. If you would get into the story, people remember only two things. One, why Katappa has killed Bahubali. And the second was very interesting. Will Bahubali's sons will kill the main villain or not? Yes or no? Exactly, the suspense. And when you create the suspense, trust me, guys, you're connecting with the emotions of the person, of the audience that who are in front of you. And emotions are the most powerful thing that you can use in your communication, use in your conversation, use in your presentation, use in your storytelling. Because when you use emotion, when you arouse emotions, when you connect emotions, when you make the people feel, exactly, Marisol, like gestures. When you use gestures and when you make the people feel about your emotions, and you connect the emotions of the people to your words, then you are going to be an exceptionally outstanding speaker. And that is what story is about. If you would go with the stories, stories should have an emotional connect with the people. If you would remember, when I started the concept of storytelling, I used a very easy example. That was, our mother used to tell us a story that if you are not going to eat food, someone will come and pick you up at night. And we all got scared. Oh my God, what will happen if I will not eat the food? And that's what emotion is. And when I will use the story, everyone over here, I'm guaranteeing it, you will connect back to me. Do you know why? Because I have connected you all. I have made you imagine you all about your mother. And that's very lovely. Trust me, guys, it's very lovely. I also feel my mother in front of my eyes when I used to imagine the story. Okay, so let's move to the next pro tip. That is, people always try to get bored about the old stories. I don't like old stories, and you also don't like old stories, I know. But yes, if I can consistently keep on using the old stories, like if you want to win the race, I would tell you a story which is about the rabbit and the turtle. Stop it, Lalit. You are so stupid. You are disgusting. People will start thinking about me in their minds. People will start thinking. But if I would use a story that is very new, that is very energetic, people will love to listen to me. People will say, Lalit, you are amazing, you're outstanding, because you're not boring us by telling us the old stories. You are telling us something new, and new is very good. New is very energetic. New is very interesting. Do you agree? And yes, you all agree. Because when I used to tell a new story, you try finding out meanings from them. And when I tell you old story, you feel like, oh my God, I know all this. Stop it. So the next pro tip is, apart from using old stories, also find stories which is less known to the people. If everyone is knowing the story and everyone is knowing the meaning, the fact, the suspense, the ending of the story that you're going to tell, people will not listen to you. If I will tell you an end of my presentation, at the beginning of the presentation, you will leave the meeting in between saying this, I already know, already know about the ending, what would be the ending, and it would be so boring if I will be with the presentation. So stop using these type of stories which are commonly known to people. Like if I would take an example of Amazon. Do you know the story of Amazon in this picture? No. No, my friends, you all don't know about this story. Yes, there would be few people who would be having an idea on this story, but many of you don't have any idea of the story. And the story is about the customer delight management, the customer relationship management of Amazon. This technique was used by Steve Jobs, that when I will build a company, I will always, whenever there will be a meeting, there will be a conference meeting on any topic, there will be a chair, the empty chair concept, the empty chair concept. This was a story. This is the story of empty chair concept. And he used to keep a chair aside empty, writing on a piece of paper, customer putting that paper on the table, on that chair. And the chair remained empty throughout the meeting, just to make people feel that there is a customer sitting who is in our meeting. And in this way, it developed a company which was beautiful, which was amazing, which was Amazon. So always try to use lesser known stories. And when you use this type of stories, people are going to remember you. And now you are going to remember me, that Lalit, you have told a wonderful story on Amazon. Yes, this is going to happen. So can we move to the next slide? So the next slide is about telling your own life story. Sometimes it is a pro tip. Why I'm explaining this? Sometimes you may not get a new story in your mind. Sometimes it is also a very usual thing that you may not get an story which is lesser known to the people, which is exceptional, which is not common, which is unique. But if you don't get this type of stories, what you can do is you can have your own story. You can have your own personal story, and that will get you a benefit, that when you will tell your story, it is unique, because your own story is a novel in it, and no one in this world is going to have your own story in their mouths. So first, it is a new concept, it is a new story, it will be very new to the people. So your own story is new, your own story is natural, because you are alive. And when I will tell my story, that I have struggled so much and I'm happy for my struggle because I'm getting the results, people come to me and say, Lalit, you are doing a great job. Salute to you, man, because I have done struggles in my life. And when I will use this story, it is natural. People will start connecting to me. Yes, Lalit, you have done a great job. Amit, sir, you have done a great job. Salute to you. Exactly. And the third thing, you will be more confident because you know everything about it. You don't have to be fake in front of people. You don't have to create a story. It is a story which is your life, which is your narration. You have to narrate it. Sulekha ma'am has used the word that we have to learn narration. It is your narration, guys. You don't have to narrate it. You just have to tell the story. And the fourth, the delivery will be authentic, exceptionally outstanding, out of the box, out of this world, interesting, wonderful, amazing. I don't know, many more words are there that your delivery will be outstanding 100%. And you also need less practice because it's your life story and you just have to sit like this and tell the story. So let's move to the next slide. So the next slide is about, so is about getting into the skin of the people. So now what this particular concept tells us, it tells us that when you tell a story, it would get into the skin of the people, it would get into the skin of the people, it would get in the mind of the people, it would get in the heart of the people. Exactly, it would get into the heart of the people. People should feel it, people should see it, people should smell it, people should hear it, people should feel it. Exactly. If I would tell you a story that, imagine I was standing in front of the building in my balcony and I saw an accident in front of my eyes. And then a boy who met with an accident, he was bleeding everywhere. He was running with his cutting hand, and everywhere the people were handling the situations. The police came, the ambulance came. You just start imagining, guys. You just start imagining. You start feeling, oh my God, there was an accident. You start smelling, oh my God, there was a fire which was set on the bike. And you can also taste that how that particular person was feeling. And you can hear that sounds in your mind. And you can also visualize that thing in your mind. Oh my God, blood. That is what the story should be like. It would get into the heart of the people, man. It would get into the brain of the people. And also try to bring the motions into the pictures. Don't try to be a usual picture, a motionless picture, or a picture which is like standing at the same position. People don't like it. Trust me, people don't like it. If I would tell you your dreams, when you come into the 21 days, if I would tell you your dreams, your success, in a very straight story, in a very straight motion pictures, you will feel, oh my God, Lalit, you are telling us whatever we have heard from the whole world. But what I used to say, you are now speaking inside of your mind. And when you will complete the 21 days, I show you a motion picture that when you will complete the 21 days challenge, you will be an effective speaker. You will be an great speaker. You will be confident. You will be fluent. Your personality will develop, and you start getting attached to me, that oh my God, this picture is so beautiful that Lalit is showing to us, that we love to hear Lalit, we love to hear Amit sir, we love to be in MMDC. That's what is motion pictures is about. Don't use uniform pictures which is at the same position. Try to use the motion pictures. Okay, so let's move to the next step, that is your vocal variety. Usually, every speaker has the 4 vocal varieties. So let's talk about this. It will be very interesting. First is authority. Authority means I have to shout. I have to make you work. This is what authority means. Authority, my volume will go up suddenly and I will start speaking very slow. I want this work to be done by you, exactly by you. This is what authority means. And now let's talk about the excitement. Oh my God, I went to this particular forum. I had a very great speech over there. I gave my presentation in a very great way. And I was very excited. I was very happy giving my presentation. Everyone were listening to me. Everyone were clapping for me. Everyone were taking my names. Lalit, you did great. You did great. And at this time, my voice is also up and I'm also talking very fast. So this is what excitement means. I'm excited. And now it's authenticity. That means you have to speak very slow. You have to speak, you have to whisper like this. Yes, yes. This is what authenticity means when you are talking very unique thing, or you can say very personal thing, very special thing, like you whisper like this. Yes, I can work at this. So at this point of time, your voice is very low, you whisper, and you also speak very slow. So the last is anticipation. Anticipation means you are worrying for something. You are thinking something in your mind like this. Oh my God, what is going to happen? If I would get the chance of giving my interview, will my interview be successful one or it will be a boring one? Will people enjoy me, enjoy listening to me, or I will bore the people? This is what anticipation means. And if you know, if you understand how to use this vocal variety of volume plus your rate, that means speaking slow or fast, and your volume that is up or low. If you understand this mixture, trust me, guys, your stories are like going to be the one of the most interesting in this world. And the next one is, as you all know, we have to practice a lot to become perfect. So prepare on your story. Before going to tell a story, we should prepare on it. Whether it is our life story, it doesn't matter. We should prepare for it, and we should be ready with the practice. So it's very important, because we have to get into the mode, we have to get into the mindset, we have to get into the enthusiasm. Like right now I'm very much energetic right now, even after giving so much of large presentation. But I'm very energetic because I'm in a happy mood, I'm feeling everything. And as usual, there is a very wonderful quote written on the picture, you should read it, that it takes 1 hour of presentation for each 1 minute of presentation. It takes 1 hour of preparation for 1 minute of presentation. So 1 = 1. So if you want to give a presentation, you should be prepared very well, whether it is a storytelling or it is a presentation. So let's move to the next slide, which will be very interesting. And trust me, ramp up curiosity. This is what I was talking about. Why people love to watch KGF 2, why people were crazy when KGF 2 release date was coming on the TVs, on Netflix, on everywhere. Why people were crazy about Bahubali Conclusion 2? Because there was a curiosity. There should be a hook which the speaker has to invent in his story. If your story starts with a lots of excitement, lots of enthusiasm, lots of energy, but there is no hook in the story, there is no hook, there is no reason why the audience should listen to the end of your story, trust me, you will be the only person standing in the hall and speaking like this. This is just a picture I am visualizing you all, that your story should have a hook which should hold the people till the end of your story. Then your story is going to kill everyone. And that's what conclusion, that's what curiosity means. If you would rise that curiosity, that this is going to be the end, this is going to be one of the best stories you have ever listened in your life, trust me, people are going to be till the end of your story, be with you till the end, and they would love listening to you because there is a hope. So now let's move to the next pro tip, that is trying to be a normal person and not trying to be a hero of your story. Whether it's your story, whether it's a story that you're telling, never try to be hero of that. Try to get your examples in that. It's very usual, it's very common, it's okay, but never try to be an hero in that, because I've already told that people are least interested in listening to you. It's not about you, it's about me. Why are you all staying with me at 10:15 listening to my presentation? I have an answer. Because you are getting benefited from this, you are interested in this, you are learning something new from this. It's you, it's not me. And if I would make myself a hero, then you would think, oh my God, this boy is having so much of attitude that he thinks he is a hero in his movie, in his picture, in his story. But where are the audience sitting in front of him? Where am I? That's what the concept is. So never try to be a hero in your story, but try to include everyone as an hero, and try to make your hero so great that people should feel that, yes, this particular person who is telling a story is having some gratitude towards his story. And that's where you will again hook the people. So let's move to the next pro tip, and it's going to be very interesting. That is again visualization. Why people love to listen to Amit sir? Why people love to listen to presentations? Let's talk about the normal presentations. I'm not talking about me. Let's talk about the normal presentation. Why people get connected to some songs? If I would call any one of you and I would ask you, what is your favorite song? You would tell this particular song is my favorite song. And I would ask why, then you would say, oh, sir, it is relating to my particular situation. If it is a sad song, then it is relating to my sad situation. If it is a happy song, then it is relating to my happy situation. Because that song is creating a visualization process. What it is doing, it is simply doing one particular thing, that is making or converting your thoughts into words, into pictures, into the visualization. That's all. And if your story is going to have this power, if a storyteller is going to have this power to visualize, to convert the thoughts of words, thoughts of people into words, what they are thinking exactly, if your story would put that particular thing in front of them, trust me, guys, you are going to get a crazy audience in your life. You're getting to get that craze in your lives for which you all are hungry, for which I am hungry. Why I'm doing this presentation? Because I want to convert the thoughts of you all and put that in front of you, for which you will love. That is what the concept is. So always have this power of converting the thoughts, connecting to the people, and converting in front of them in front of them in the form of words, pictures, or videos, whatever the presentation is about. So the next is use layman's language. So it is also a very useful pro technique which you should have, which a storyteller should have, or you can also use in your conversations. That is, just remember what is the language that people are understanding. If I would sitting over here, if I would use my level language, the people who are new to the process, they will sit like this. What this person is speaking, I don't understand. Because I'm not using a language which is understandable by them, which they can understand. Because they are not getting my words, they are not getting my meaning, they are not getting my story, because I'm telling in such a language which is very difficult for me. For me, it's for them, very difficult for them. So always try to use such a language which is simple, which is common, which is easy for everyone to understand, and in which you can usually describe your story in a very interesting. So try to use simple language which people can understand, which every level can understand. So that's what a pro technique is. So now, next pro technique is suspended stories. If I would ask you, do you remember a student in your school life who was suspended for some reason? You would say, yes, 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 I remember. And that's what the suspended stories meaning is about. But this is a very long concept, and this I will explain in my further PPTs, because this is again a particular concept. But I'm giving you an overview of what this is. For example, I'm sitting with my friend and I'm talking about, like, do you know that particular person has something? Okay, leave that. Let's move to the next topic. You all would get frustrated that Lalit complete this story first, and then we will move to the next one, because you are curious to know that what that story is containing, what that story is having. And then when you will try to get into that story, I will complete two stories at a time. First I will start like this, then I will enter into the another topic, another story, then I will complete the story, and again the loop will start, that returning on to the first story. And in this manner I will complete both the stories in the better way. And that's how every movie which comes in series complete their content in a very interesting, like KGF 1 and 2. If you would remember, KGF 1 was having some suspenses which was in KGF 2. If you would remember that jail scene where Rocky Bhai was sitting and his gang will come after he was arrested by police, and suddenly the scene stops, and the speaker, the interviewer, the newspaper sitting in front of Anand Ingalgi, she used to ask, "Sir, you have moved forward in the story. You should come back." And then suddenly the story again changes into KGF 1. And it starts so much interesting curiosity in people that now I want to get into the KGF 2 story and I have to see that where this scene is. And that's what is interesting in that. So now the last thing is other things remaining constant. So as you all know that now we have discussed few pro tips, okay, and all these pro tips is very useful to get into the story. But yes, at the same time, other things, whatever they are, like focusing on to the audience, whether they are getting bored or not, whether they are listening to you, and you should always remember this thing. This is again a very pro tip that I'm giving you. This is you can say it is a bonus tip, that usually when people tell stories, people get bored and people start getting distracted like this. If I'm sitting like this, I think many of you also get bored from me, but I'm sorry, I was kidding. People used to sit like this and people used to think, oh my god, what this person is telling. And suddenly when you see this thing, when you notice this thing, try to change the topic. And trust me, this time you will change the topic and you will move the topic to the interesting one which the audience wants to listen. Trust me, guys, trust me, take a note from me. People will love to listen to you because they are getting this feeling that you are feeling them. You can feel them, you can feel for them, you have emotions for them. So that is what Dale Carnegie say. So finally, why stories? Because stories are always interesting. Stories are always influencing. If someone is coming and telling a story of his life, like on TED Talks, if you see on Joe's Talks, some successful entrepreneurs of Shark Tank came last few weeks and they are telling about their life stories. MBA Chaiwala came on that stage and told his life story because it was interesting, it was influencing. It is a tag that you are a great communicator because you have the skills of storytelling. And the last is your message will spread like virus. Your message will spread like virus because people will remember you for your exceptionally outstanding, unique story that you have told. Like you all are going to remember me for I'm not doing my greatness. That is only a concept to make you understand that you are going to remember me, my presentation, my story because of the example of Amazon that I have taken. And the last is get your stories and you remember for living. Remember for as long as you live. And after all, you also, your stories are going to be remembered because stories are always alive. Stories are immortal. They cannot die. They will be always there in the people's mind and people will remember you for that. So I hope you all will include these few tips, these few pro tips in your life, and storytelling. You will carry on this technique and you will be a pro in this. And wishing you all the very best. I would end this session and thank you very much everyone for listening to me. I hope it was interesting, it was knowledgeable. Thank you, sir.
I just want some of the listeners over here to raise your points, to just mention what you learned from this particular topic. This was a real good research on Lalit's part to present this particular presentation. I guess around 15 to 20 pro tips that he has found out, which you can include in your storytelling sessions, which you can include in your communication, which can just elevate your communication to the next level. So I want people to just raise their hands so that we can include their points one by one. If you have any observation, if you have any particular connection with these points, you can just raise your hand and can speak on the topic. So I'm just waiting for a raise of hands over here because he just brought about I think Urmila ma'am is raising a point. Hand ma'am, yes, Urmila ma'am, it was over to you right now. You can speak on this topic, yes ma'am.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Sir, today is Lalit sir. All points is very well, but I am noted by second points. Lecture versus a story. Lecture is very interesting example for Gita and Mahabharata. Lecture is good for those who has interest, but a story will help everyone to understand easily to topic. So story is the but way to convey our thoughts to the mass and every easy to understand. So it is the one of the best way to get attention of your thoughts. Lalit sir use example like Gita to Ramayana. Though we don't know whole, but we all know the essence. It is the one of best example for convincing our thoughts, sir. That's it, my side, sir. Thank you.
I'm really amazed, Urmila. I think were you speaking from the script? Because it
But,
looked
but,
unscripted to me, ma'am. Are you
but,
speaking from your script or from otherwise?
uh, but, but today's topic, sir, very interesting, sir. And you all already know my story how I am learning fluent English by the help of this MMDC group.
Because I'm really
And,
amazed. The way
and
you just spoke, you completed your sentences was really amazing, Urmila. Great job over there, ma'am. And yes, ma'am.
everyone has yes, sir. And MMDC group and Amit sir, everyone has their one story how to learn English in this age is my story. Thank you, sir. Thank you all
Thank you
for you.
so much, ma'am, for making us proud. I'm really, really proud of you, ma'am. You really worked hard, and it shows in your preparation. It shows in your speech today that you have made. Anybody else who wants to make his point or her point on this particular topic, any point of Lalit which you just want to implement in your life or want to raise a doubt about, you can just raise your hand. So I think Mari wants to speak. Mari, over to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mari, go ahead.
Sir, can I start, sir?
Yes,
Yes,
you're
sir.
audible.
Thank you,
You're
sir.
audible.
So, sir, actually, I want to talk about that point is relatable. Because of if you tell that story, if you relate your living life, they will feel really they can share with experience. So that story did not forget. So that is a very good thing, sir. So because of most important thing, I note that point, sir. And then Lalit sir is uh, uh, giving wonderful presentation, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, Mari. So the point that Mari was trying to raise was the concept of feel, felt, and found. If you want to instantly connect with anybody, if you have watched my videos, which I have sent on the link, which Shreya would have sent all of you, I talked about the concept of feel, felt, and found. How do you instantly connect with somebody? You suddenly, if you want to connect with somebody, use the concept of feel, felt, and found. What do? You say, I feel exactly like the way you feel. So in the 3-day workshop, I talk about my particular problems, and I tell my learners that I feel exactly the way you had felt in you feel right now. I have gone through a similar situation. And when I say that to my learners, suddenly they connect with me much, much better because I feel just like them. When I was in class 12, I was also not fluent in English. So that is where I feel for them. And then what I do, I feel, then I went to feel to felt. When I felt that particular thing, what did I feel? I felt that, it is so embarrassing, it is so saddening. And then when I feel and felt all those things, what did I do for it? And then I talk about my story of what I found. Then I did a 10-year research. Then I did a 15, 20 years of research. And I found out easier solutions for everybody. So the concept of feel, felt, and found instantly connects you to your audience. You can just use this particular concept because it's a very, very big concept. If you can use this particular concept in your speeches, you will instantly connect with your audiences. They would want to listen more from you, they would want to buy more from you, and they would want to take anything that you're selling. That is always possible. Okay, so that's what it
Anybody else who wants to speak on this topic, or else we're almost done with the session. We can say good night to each other. We can say goodbye to each other. But before that, I just want to open the stage for anybody who has got some kind of a doubt or some kind of a point that they want it to be addressed. Anybody can raise their hand if they have any kind of doubts or concerns.
Yes, people, friends, anyone who has some doubts or who wants to get a clarification or who wants to speak on this topic, the stage is still open. We have 3 to 4 minutes in our hand, and we can go with the discussion. If anyone who wants to speak, the stage is open, or should we go with two more speakers? Okay, Venkateshwara sir, Satyanarayana sir is there to speak. Yes, sir. You can unmute yourself and you can speak.
Yes, sir, Lalit sir.
Yes, sir.
Only one doubt. Thing is that most of the people, if the people are really understanding, there is no doubt. If they are not understanding, there is no doubt. So that our people are completely, our members are totally understanding with your way of lecture. Your presentation is very awesome, and each and every point is $1 million prize worthy.
Thank you very much, sir.
As a speaker, we have to know these points. If you want to give a speech in the particular topic, means if you give this type of 23 points, and we will give our speech by way of these types of points in our stories prepared, then we will get tremendous results from the audience. Definitely. You have given
Definitely,
that
sir.
much of speech, and you are delivering the topic is very good manner, so that we don't have that much of doubts.
Thank you very much. It's all for my particular club, my members. So whatever the hard work we are doing, not only me, it is not a credit that should go to me. It's the credit of Amit sir, who has introduced this club. So it's team hard work for you all, for your betterment and for empowering India. That's all. Yes,
Yes.
Amit
Satya sir, what is your doubt? Satya sir, what is your concern? I think there was a question that you wanted to ask.
No, there is no question, sir. Actually, we are understanding properly. That's why there is no question. That is the I want to convey.
Okay. I thought there was some question. Okay, so if there is no such question, I think then let us call it a day, because this was a real important, because this was something which was very due. It was long due. I wanted to complete this session for a very long time. It was long due, because this is a very important concept. If you want to go ahead, move ahead in your life, if you want to impress people, if you want to influence people, trust me, all of you, what Lalit said, if that was not clear, let me clarify. The amazing story that he told you, all of you today, is going to remain in your hearts for the next 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years. The concept of having customer, a chair which is reserved for companies. Amazon wants to become the #1 company in the world. And what do? Every meeting of their company, they have a chair which is vacant. Nobody sits. Even Jeff Bezos, the founder of the company, does not sit in that chair. That chair is reserved for the customer. The customer is not there, but they still keep on thinking about it. Every decision of the company is about that customer. The concept of the empty chair. This story you're not going to forget for your life. But just imagine if you have gone for an interview, if you want to impress somebody, if you want to become, Amar, you want to become permanent into somebody's memory. You want to live for 100 years. If you tell a story like this, the story is not going to die. In an interview, if you can just raise this kind of stories, if you can just tell this kind of stories, the interviewer is going to remember you for the next 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. And that is how you create a permanent impression upon people. Many of the companies, they succeed in their goal of making more and more sales because of stories. So iPhone, Apple is not a company, actually, it's a story. It's a story about sophistication. It's a story about being the best mobile company in the world, best technology company in the world. It's not a company anymore, it's a brand, and the brand has been created on the basis of story. The story of Steve Jobs. That is how that brand has been built. So majorly, we are all sold on to stories, because this is a process which has been repeated for around 10,000, 20,000, 40,000 years. We love our stories. And that is why we buy many of the decisions that we do are emotional. You feel that you buy a mobile, you buy a BMW because of the price tag. No, you buy it for a story, because it is all about a story. Stories sell very well. Emotions sell very well. So that is how you have to portray yourself. If you want to become successful, if you want to become permanently amar into somebody's life, you have to tell stories. So Gaurav is over here. Gaurav wants to raise his point. After Gaurav, we'll say good night to each other. So Gaurav, what is your point? Please make your point.
Okay, I will. It's a like crystal clear presentation, like water,
Thank you
and
so much, Gaurav.
presentation is very impressive when we watch good movies. Na, some scene is very presentable. So this you means each and every word is amazing. The way Lalit present is like I'm think like I like watch movie. Good movies there na. So you can go what will happen, what are the amazing points. So it's a very nice presentation, very clear, that much clear, very rare person they will do this thing. I think Lalit will do so much hard work regarding this topic. So well done Lalit for your hard working.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. So the expectation from MMDC club side, from the MMDC family side, is that all of you who are participants of this particular meeting will start using these concepts in your stories, in your communication, in your speeches, in your public appearances, in your interviews. Start using them, because knowledge is not what you know, knowledge is what you use. If you start using these concepts, trust me all of you, your communication, your impression, your influence, your overall personality is just going to go through the roof. And that is what we had come here for. We had come here for changing the way we communicate. We had come here for becoming million-dollar communicators. If you start using these concepts, all of you will just go into a different zone altogether, and that is what is expected. So thank you so much, all of you, for
So,
yes, Rit.
so
Yes, Rit.
I just need 1 minute.
Okay.
As you have correctly told that whatever we expect, we are doing the hard work. And thank you everyone for all the compliments. And actually, I just wanted to tell everyone that the PPT was made by Amit sir and the presentation has done by me. But the only expectation which we have with all the members is just implement the points and the knowledge that we are giving you, because it is going to help you all to get succeed in your life, to get that successful life which you are dreaming for. So the only expectation is expect uh, good to be happen, and apply all the points, whatever the PPT is, whatever the topic is, it is relatable to you and it is relatable to some learning. So apply the points and just have your practice going on like this. That's also. And thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much, Lalit, once again. And let us say goodnight to each other. It's already late. It's 22:40. But again, it's very important that we start implementing all these things in our life, in our communication. So I'm expecting that to happen from tomorrow, from today, from right now. Okay, so see you all tomorrow once again with an interesting topic, with an interesting theme tomorrow once again at the same time, same place on this Zoom meet. Okay, so we'll keep on communicating on WhatsApp group and otherwise, but stay connected. And thank you so much all for connecting in from various parts of the country. It was a real pleasure hosting all of you over there in the Zoom meet. Good night and take care. Bye-bye.